Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? Thank you all so much for coming and doing sprints with me this morning. I'm so excited and happy to be back doing these with all of you. How is everybody? I see that we already have some people with us. Hi, Micah. Thanks so much for coming by and doing sprints with me this morning. And also, hi, Nina. Also, thank you so much for coming and writing with me this morning. What are you both going to be working on? I unfortunately don't know if I'm gonna be able to do a lot of working on my book this morning. I am very behind on doing things like editing YouTube videos and sending out mailing list emails, so I might have to do a couple of promotional things that are on my to-do list this morning. I also, really have to put the finishing touches on the They Whisper bonus materials for the hardcover edition of They Whisper, and I'm very excited about them. I have just been putting them off because I've been so excited about writing this new book. So I need to actually read those through again and just finish writing one of them and proof them and get them all ready so that I can get a final page count for the hardcover. So that's what I'm going to be doing this morning. Hopefully, if I can get all of those things done early on in the sprint, we'll see if it actually happens. If I can get all of those things done, maybe I can do one or two sprints that are geared toward writing and working on my book. So fingers crossed, we're going to try to get those things done as fast as possible, but definitely need to get those done. So yeah, everybody who's here, let me know what you're going to be working on. Oh, Nina said, I will be working on my chaos project. It's called that because I have no plan and just write what I think should happen. Chaos. Oh, I love that. I've always wanted to do a project like that. I always over outline everything that I write. And I feel like it would be really freeing to just kind of go where the story is taking you. And it seems like it would be really fun. So I hope that's going well. Hi, Cool Gamer. Thanks so much for coming. You're right on time. We're about to start our first sprint. So usually those of you who do these sprints with me frequently, I usually like to start the live writing sprints with a 15-minute warm-up sprint so we can all kind of wake up a little bit and get into the right headspace, and then we can go for longer sprints later. If there are any of you who are new to doing live writing sprints in general, I essentially just set timers for a certain period of time, and during that period of time, we just do nothing but write or read or any kind of focused work that we want to be doing in this time in the morning. And at the end of the sprint, we talk about it. We talk about how the sprint went for us, whether we were able to like write this many words or edit this many pages or read this many pages of the book that you're reading. And then we do another one. So they're like productivity sprints where by the end we will have done a bunch of different condensed periods of work at the end of the sprints, and then we can, feel very good about going about our days because we had a very productive morning. So that's what we're going to be doing this morning. We are going to start. I feel like I'm like sounding a little congested this morning. I'm like, I usually don't get allergies, but I know that like there's some sort of pollen storm going through where I live right now, and I feel completely stuffed up. So sorry if I'm just like very nasally this morning. But yes, I think we should start with our 15-minute sprint. So I'm going to share my screen. Um, please hold. I always feel so awkward doing these. Like I just have to go silent while I make sure that all of my audio is shared. All right, cool. So hopefully, I know that I've made mistakes with this in the past and not shared the timer audio, but the timer audio should be shared. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity. Good luck in this warm up sprint. And I will see you in 15 minutes. We can talk about how it went. Alrighty, that sprint just took me by surprise, that timer sound. I am just like finishing my YouTube video for the week. I am a little behind in posting it, but I did do a live stream on Thursday night, so I used that as kind of an excuse to be able to post my video today. I am like, I'm having some issues with color grading my videos because I am admittedly not very good at anything relating to editing videos or color grading videos or using video editing software. And I changed my background a couple of months ago, and like the lighting is a little different. So my old thing that I had kind of learned how to do is not working anymore. And then I also realized just like last week that because I use a monitor, like I plugged my laptop into a monitor and then I, do all of my work on the big monitor. My monitor settings are different than the settings on my laptop. So when I color grade stuff on my monitor, it looks really different than the final product that is like played on laptops and uploaded to YouTube. So I had a bit of a moment where I worried about that because like I'd learned this new system for making my videos look like they had color in them and everything. And then I turned them on my computer and everything looked like it was just drained of color. So I'm trying to relearn how to properly color grade my videos on my laptop. So because I do my sprints on my laptop and not on my monitor, I am color grading now and I'm trying to like create some presets so I can, just add them to my footage and make them look better and actually make them look better to the people who are watching them and not just to me and my monitor. And I have to do, I think, a little bit of work on my monitor settings, or maybe I'll leave my monitor and just color grade on my YouTube or on my laptop. So yeah, that's what I did in the sprint. So I'm almost done with that. I'm just like working on making it look a little nicer, and then I'm going to upload my video and finish my thumbnail. So yeah, happy about that. I got some coffee in my favorite mug, which is good, always very needed. I had a very late morning this morning, so I'm a little bit like behind because I slept in a lot longer than I usually do. So it was very nice. I'm just only having my coffee and breakfast now. Oh, Nina said, just got something to drink and reread what I wrote yesterday. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I mentioned this in my sprints on Thursday, but I've been listening because I'm getting the audiobook right now. I'm like working on finishing the audiobook with my audiobook narrator for book 2 in my series. And I've been listening to the audiobook before writing for the day because it just like snaps me right back into the headspace of the book. And it's so fun. I used to do that too when I would reread what I wrote the day before starting a writing session, and I get my computer to voice it. But it's not the same. It's so nice having a narrator now. I like the robotic voice would always kind of lull me to sleep, and then I'd forget what I was actually listening to. So that's awesome. How was that sprint for the rest of you? Were you able to, write the number of words that you wanted to write? What are you up to? What are you going to be working on? Are you writing today? Are you reading? Oh, Micah said, I'll be working on an art project for art class. Very cool. What is your art project on? What kind of art are you creating? I was always really bad at art and art class assignments, so I don't know much about it. But yeah, I was also homeschooled, so I didn't really have them. Like I had them in elementary school before I started being homeschooled, but then like I didn't do as many assignment art projects, and I didn't have an art class. I just had it in elementary school, so it seems like it would be fun though. BF said, thank you for hosting and keeping us focused. Oh, thank you so much for coming. I'm glad that you were able to join us this morning. Yeah, no, I'm glad that this is keeping you focused. It keeps me focused because I actually have to be held accountable to all of you. I can't just, go and scroll through Instagram reels and watch horse videos. I actually have to get my work done. All right. So how are we all feeling? Maybe do we want to just jump into another sprint? I feel good and a little bit more awake now. Do we want to maybe do a 20-minute sprint and then go from there? We can probably boost it up a little bit longer too. But if any of you have any preferences, let me know in the comments. I'm very happy to do those times. But I think maybe we do like 20, 25, unless you hear any objections. All right, let's see. Cool. So how about we just jump right in? Let's do our second sprint. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity. Happy art creating, Micah. And I will see you after the sprint. Alrighty. That sprint also flew by. I was absolutely not looking at the timer, but that was very productive for me. I feel like I am starting to get a little bit of a handle maybe on how to color grade a little bit more effectively than I did before. I just like I'm really bad at designing stuff. Like I love having this channel and I love talking about writing and I love making these videos, but it's really hard for me like from like a video standpoint to figure out like what looks good and like the whole like when I changed my thumbnails, it was such an agonizing process because I couldn't figure out whether they like looked good or didn't look good. Like I don't trust my internal sense of design because I can convince myself that pretty much anything looks good. So yeah, I'm slowly trying to figure out what I think looks good, but I think it looks better. It's like a lot softer than previous colors and things. So I'm happy about that. But in this next sprint, I'm just going to finish doing this because I need to upload this video. I'm going to finish color grading and then export and upload. So excited about that. Yeah. How is that for all of you? Nina said 193 words at the inciting incident now. Yay! Oh, that's awesome. Very exciting. The inciting incident is so much fun to write. It's a very exciting part of the story to be in. Yesterday I hit the 30,000 word mark on my current manuscript, and I was like all super like jazzed and excited and because it's a big milestone. But then I realized that I'm only on chapter 10 of my outline, and like my outline has 50 chapters. So that this manuscript, even though I am 30,000 words in, I'm just horribly overwriting it because it's looking like if I keep writing this much in these chapters, this book is going to end up being like 150,000 words, or at least this draft of it is going to have to end up being that long. So I'm like right now very much trying to balance how much character to put in and how much thrilling stuff to put in, because I think like now we're at book 3 in the series. I think I can get away with putting in some more character development and like some character moments and some like more relationship stuff. But I also don't want to completely compromise on the pacing and make it very, very slow. So yeah, I'm excited about that, but I'm just right at the end of Act 1, which was my point with all of that. Like the inciting incident has happened and they've embarked on their journey, and it's just like such an exciting place to be in because all this stuff. Like there's going to be so much stuff that comes at them, but they haven't actually gotten there yet. So it's exciting. Like as an author, like I always feel like I'm kind of embarking on the adventure with them, even though in this case I know exactly what's going to happen to them because I outlined so much of this book. Oh, Micah said, I'm doing pop art out of a still life we could choose. Oh, very cool. I think I remember doing pop art in elementary school when I had art class and like making everything, or correct me if I'm wrong, is pop art, this is gonna be such a stupid question. Is pop art like, when you have the folded piece of paper and you open it and everything like comes out of it because everything is folded and like creates art when it's unfolded? Or is that something else? It's probably something else. That is probably like card making or something. Remind me what pop art is. Sorry, I'm not very artistically inclined either. This like ties into me struggling to color grade my videos. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Brutal honesty in these live streams this morning. Yeah. So how are you all feeling? Do we want to take a little bit more time and get up and stretch our legs? I really am enjoying drinking my coffee. I am kind of ready to jump right back into another sprint if all of you are too. I know that wasn't like a really long break, but if you want to have a bit more of a break, we can do some more chatting. If you all have any, anything that you want to chat about or any questions that you're currently, and any issues that you're having with your current manuscript or work in progress or anything, let me know in the comments because we can chat about them and then have a bit longer of a break between sprints. Or if you're all just ready to jump into a next sprint, we can absolutely do that too. I do want to get this video uploaded before it gets too late in the day, so I do need to do that. I meant to do it yesterday, but spent too much time on this color grading stuff. So, you know, sometimes it is like that. All right, how about we just jump into our next sprint? How do you all feel about maybe doing a 25-minute sprint? We can just kind of boost it up a little bit. Let me switch the timer. All right, so how about we just jump in? Good luck, everybody. Happy writing, happy productivity, and I will see you after the sprint. Alrighty. Cool. So, how is that sprint for everybody? I hope I'm not lagging too much. I can see on my StreamYard that the video is slightly delayed. I'm currently exporting my YouTube video for this week, and my computer is struggling. Like, all the fans are whirring really loud, and everything was really slow. I was trying to draft my mailing list email in MailChimp, and everything was like I would type a sentence and it would take 30 seconds for it to appear on the screen. So I am just drafting out all the text in a Word doc, hoping that that actually helps my computer survive this stressful time in its day. How is that sprint for all of you? I officially am done with my video for the week. I'm just waiting for it to export. It's about 50% of the way done. So that's very good. And as soon as that's done, I'm going to make my thumbnail because I didn't even want to try opening Photoshop right now while it's working on exporting. So I'm going to do that as soon as it's done. And then I'm going to upload and do all the text that I have to do and post it. So that is very exciting. I am right now writing my mailing list update. I am updating everyone on They Return and my progress in They Return. And I usually send 2 emails out every month, but because I sent so many in April, I decided only to send 1 out in May just because to give everybody a break because I had so much news because They Whisper was coming out. So I'm just, giving a general bit of an update on the books and how everything is going. I have an audiobook coming out soon, and also the special edition hardcover is going to come out soon, which is very exciting. If you all are not currently subscribed to my mailing list, you can receive this email that I am drafting by following. I'm pretty sure I have a link in the description of this video that will take you there. I give away the first 5 chapters of the first book in my series to everybody who signs up to my mailing list. And if you've already read my book, They Stay, there is a sign up link at the end of that book that gives you a special link to sign up for my mailing list and get a short story that is written from a character whose point of view is not included in the first book in the series. So yeah, if you want to sign up, all the links are there. I would be super grateful if you did. But yeah, so that's all going very well. Nina said 337 words. Yay, congratulations. Had to write a poem, which I'm not good at. Oh my goodness, I feel you. I made the horrible mistake of making one of my characters in my series a poet, and I've been trying to avoid having to write poetry because he's supposed to be a good poet, but I'm a really, really bad poet. Absolutely atrocious poet, and I don't want to try writing a poem that he wrote and then have all the characters have to be like, oh wow, that was so expressive and meaningful, whereas it is not going to be if I write it. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to confront that in book 3, and he's actually going to have to write poetry that I share with the readers, and I'm very nervous about it. So yeah, I'm never making that mistake again. I took a poetry class in college, and I would continuously get the feedback from my professor that I used language way too literally in my poems. And while they were passing grade poems in the class, she didn't find that they were creative enough. So yeah, not very good at poetry. So I definitely feel you there. I was my favorite poem that I wrote in that class was we were assigned to choose an object that we could see somewhere, just choose an inanimate object and then turn it into something different in the poem. So she gave us the example of a poet who used a fork and turned the fork into a bunch of different things over the course of the poem. And I was sitting there, I had no idea what to write it about. And then I looked over and I saw one of my baseball caps hanging on the door. And I wrote this 7-line poem about this baseball cap being used as a cereal bowl and all the milk pouring out from the top of it. So yeah, not the same vibe as the really beautiful romantic poetry that my character is supposed to be writing in this series. Nina said, yeah, my character is also supposed to be good at poetry. I'm not, but it's the Chaos Project, so I think I did it to myself. Yeah, it's a struggle. I don't know how I'm going to confront this, but thankfully I'm not at that point in the manuscript. That one's that chapter is happening, I think, in the 20s, chapter 20 something. So since I'm only on chapter 10, we're good so far. I'm in full on denial that I'm going to have to write a poem. How was that sprint for everybody else? Let me know in the comments. Oh, Micah said that pop art is that too, what you described. Oh, the letter folding out and then all the stuff coming up. Yep. But I'm doing pop art, which is just an art direction, but I'm not really good at explaining this. No, that's okay. I'm not very good at understanding it. So I'm glad that it's going well and that you're enjoying the art project. Making 3D art always sounds like it would be fun. Like I made a couple of those cards where when they opened and things came up, I was always so satisfied at the end of it. It was so much fun. That was my favorite. And then also, I remember in art class we had to make a painting with like the dots. Like we took a Q-tip and like dipped it in paint, and then we would like I think I painted a dolphin with a bunch of little tiny dots, and I also loved that. That was really fun. Nina said, "This is a really creative idea, though. I never would have come up with that from a cap." Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was my favorite poem from the year, just because I thought it was very funny because it like wasn't well written. Like even if the idea might be creative, the way that I said, like, I'm pretty sure the first line of a poem was like, "This is a cap," except it's not. Like, it wasn't well written at all. But yeah, I was kind of proud of the cereal spilling out from like, because you know, like the thin meshy material, like this kind of material of the chair, that was like kind of the sides of the cap were made of that to make it more breathable. So I was like imagining milk being poured in there and then it being used kind of like as a colander, and like all the cereal would get stuck and the milk would fall down. Anyway, how are we all feeling about jumping into our next sprint? Do we want to just do another one at 25? I have to go in an hour-ish, so I think maybe we do one more like 20, 25-minute sprint and then a last 15-minute sprint, if that sounds good to all of you. I can share my screen. Let's see. How about we actually, yeah, maybe we do a 20-minute sprint because I want to make sure that I have time to take my dog out for a walk before I have to leave, so she's not stuck in the house all afternoon. But yeah, okay, so 20 minutes, and then we'll do one last sprint after this. So this is our second to last sprint. This is our last longer working sprint. So good luck, everybody. Happy writing, happy art making, happy productivity, and I will see you after this sprint. Alrighty, awesome. So that sprint was really good for me. I finished exporting my YouTube video. I'm currently uploading it to YouTube. It is 81% uploaded, so hopefully that goes through soon, and then I can post the video this next sprint. I also finished writing most of the text for my mailing list email. I'm writing it in a separate Word doc because MailChimp was being very laggy this morning, so I have a lot of that drafted. I still have to edit it and make sure that, everything is spelled correctly, because I write lots of run-on sentences when I draft my mailing list emails, and I always make sure to read them aloud and read them back to myself before sending the email so that, it's easier to read for everybody. So that was very productive. It doesn't look like I'm going to get to actually writing this sprint, which is a little disappointing because I am dying to write this next scene that I have in my manuscript, but hopefully I'll be able to do that tomorrow or definitely on Monday. So yeah, very exciting stuff. How was that for all of you? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear. Nina said, started making a fake cover to look at when I'm stuck or unmotivated. I do that a lot. So do I. I did this all the time with the book that I just published. I set up, I had the cover designed in October and I published the book in April. So I was sitting with that cover for a really, really long time. And I would just put the cover up on my screen while I was writing, and it would just completely put me in the right headspace and motivate me to finish writing when I was really kind of down and overwhelmed with the writing process. So I definitely feel you here. I love doing that. Also, when I'm writing from a character's point of view, because I have fan art, or not fan art, but character artwork for the main characters in my book, I also put that on the screen sometimes so I can look at the characters and then look back at the chapter, and that, it helps me imagine them in the scene because I have the artwork of them. So I also do that a lot. I love doing that. Yeah. So do you all have any fun plans for this weekend? Do you have anything that you're going to be doing? I know that this is a holiday weekend, so there are a lot of people that have fun plans. It looks like I'm probably going to be working a lot of the weekend. I have to go move a lot of furniture this afternoon because a family member has some furniture that they don't need anymore because they're moving, and I'm going to take it. So I'm going to go lift the furniture and move the furniture out of the apartment and over to where I live. So that'll probably take up a lot of the afternoon. And it's going to be warm this weekend. So I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to take my dog to the beach, which I'm very excited about. She loves going to the beach. And I'm very excited that she'll be able to, it'll be warm enough for her to actually enjoy it because it's been pretty windy recently. So I'm very excited about that. Nina said, I'm having a picnic with some friends tomorrow. That's awesome. Very exciting. Yeah, so a lot of my friends who live in the area went home this weekend because it's the holiday weekend. So it looks like I'm going to be spending a lot of time with my dog. But I am going out to see my family in just 2 weeks, which I'm very excited about. So yeah, it's going to be very fun. I also have my birthday next week, so I'll be, doing celebrations and things. But I'm kind of lightly rescheduling it to the weeks that I'll actually be able to see my parents and my brother and everybody. So we'll all be able to celebrate together. And my partner is coming out with me when we go visit them, so we'll be able to have celebrations then. It's going to be more of a slight pre-birthday cake eating day before my big kind of, birthday dinner with my family in a couple of weeks. So all exciting stuff coming up. I love the beginning of summer. It's always a very exciting time. All right, do we want to maybe just jump right in and do our last sprint? Maybe we do, I think, another 15-minute sprint, so that way I have time to go take my dog, who's been very patiently waiting for me to be done with this sprint, out for a bit of a, I don't want to say the word walk too loud or I'm going to hear some barking in the other room. But I've been calling them promenades because she doesn't really understand what that means. So before I take her for a promenade after the sprint, Oh, thank you, BF. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm going to be sprinting, I think the morning after next week on June 4th. I'm going to be joined by my friend Marissa Latay, who's another fantastic YA author. So if you all want to come and do sprints with me next Saturday, definitely do that. I have yet to schedule it on StreamYard. I have to do that too. All right. Let's jump into this sprint. I am going to share the timer again and change it to 15 minutes. This will be our last sprint this morning, so make sure that you get your final words in, or if there are things that you wanted to accomplish this morning, make sure to get those done in the next 15 minutes if you can. Happy writing, everybody. Happy productivity. I will see you after the sprint in 15 minutes. Is this any better? Can everybody hear me now? I just put my headphones in, so maybe that makes a difference. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, good. Okay, awesome. Yay. I don't know what happened, but anyway, I will assume that you didn't hear anything after that sprint ended. So essentially, I just wanted to thank you all for coming to this live stream, and sprinting with me this morning. I'm really glad that you all could make it. I'm going to be going live again on Saturday, June 4th, next week at the same time at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So if you want to do some more sprints with me, make sure to come back on next Saturday. And I'm also, I don't know if any of you were at my live Plot With Me live stream a couple of weeks ago where I brainstormed a world from scratch with everybody who was there and then created a plot grid. But if you were, I'm going to be doing that again this week on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And instead of brainstorming a story from scratch with everyone, I'm going to come up with a story by myself just before the live stream and go through how to create a plot grid in detail when you already have a story. So going through like exactly how to set up your plot grid, exactly how to fill in every single different parts of your plot grid, and just walking you through how I do it. For those of you who don't know, I talk a lot about plot grids on this channel. A plot grid is a type of outline where every single column, it's like a grid. If you like imagine an Excel spreadsheet, every single column of your grid corresponds to a plot or a subplot that you want to explore in your story, and every single row corresponds to a different chapter in your story, so you can see everything in your story and like your outline in kind of this big picture format. So it's a really great mechanism for plotting if you are a hardcore plotter and love plotting. So I'm going to be walking everyone through that on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're interested in learning more about plot grids, make sure to mark your calendars for that, and also to come to my stream next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern time with my good friend, young adult author Marissa Latte. So thank you all so much for coming. I hope you all have a fantastic holiday weekend. Sorry for the audio issues right there at the end, but thank you all for sticking with me. I hope you have a really great weekend, and as always, happy writing.